Hello, this is Peter Levine from Cambridge Community Television. I am the media production educator, and in this video, we are going to be talking about video editing concepts. This is going to be a useful course for aspiring video editors, filmmakers, or just anybody with an interest in visual media of any sort. The skills we're going to discuss in this video apply to all types of filmmaking and media making. So quickly, for those of you who don't know, Cambridge Community Television is Cambridge, Massachusetts public access station, but we're a lot more than that. We have podcasting equipment, we have field production equipment, people are creating documentaries, radio shows, live TV shows, musical performances, all kinds of things. Anything involving media making, our goal is to keep the barrier low so it's inexpensive and really accessible to get your hands on all of these media tools. And yeah, it's a pretty special place. So if you have any interest in learning more, you can check out cctvcambridge.org, our website. So moving right along, let's start with a quote. "What is drama but life with the dull bits cut out?" That's a quote from Alfred Hitchcock. Editors are most interested in featuring what moves the story forward and eliminating or reducing what slows it down. So in short, editing is very, very important. Good editing can save a film, and bad editing can ruin one. Anyways, now that we've discussed the extreme importance of editing, and I'm talking extreme, let's move along. So here's the overview. Let's take a look at what we'll be learning in this class. So the big concepts we're going to be talking about are mise-en-scène, hope I'm saying that right, montage, Kuleshov effect, continuity editing, and the split edit. So let's get to our first topic. This is mise-en-scène. Mise-en-scène is what takes place within the frame. So that's the composition, the production design, lighting, and camera work. It means, in French, placing on stage. So we're going to take a look at the opening scene from Paul Thomas Anderson's Punch Drunk Love. While watching, think about what the mise-en-scène communicates to the audience.
Yes, I'm still on hold.
And what was this?
I'm looking at your advertisement for the airline promotion and giveaway.
This is our frequent flyer plan.
Yeah, it's hard to understand because it says in addition to, but I can't exactly understand in addition to what because there's actually nothing to add it to.
I think that's a typo then.
Okay, so just to clarify, I'm sorry. 10 purchases of any of your Healthy Choice products equals 500 miles, and with the coupon, the same purchases would value 1,000 miles.
That's it.
Well, do you realize that the monetary value of this promotion and the prize is potentially worth more than the purchases?
I don't know.
Could I call you back? Could I ask you your extension and your name, possibly?
It's extension 215, and the name is Carter.
Carter. Thank you very much, Carter.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So what does the mise-en-scène in this scene communicate to the audience? So composition-wise, we have a wide shot with the character far away from us. Makes him look lonely. It's in the corner of the frame. You can see that the color is blue and white. The entire tone of the scene is drenched in blue and white. He's got his suit, the walls, and the blue and white outside. The set design is incredibly bare. It's empty, but there's a desk, and it's dark. To me, it's showing the loneliness of this character, the solitude. So really, within just a minute or so, you learn about this character not only from what they say and do, but from the mise-en-scène, what takes place inside of the frame. So that composition, the production design, lighting, and camera work are all adding to the story and helping us understand what this character is about and what the story is going to be about. So that's mise-en-scène. So moving on, let's take a look at montage. So we have the mise-en-scène, which what takes place within the frame, and we have montage, which is what takes place between the frames. So this includes the edits, the special effects, the sound, the music. Montage sequences are often used in modern cinema, but montage is synonymous with creative editing as a whole. So that which takes place between the frames is what montage is. how two clips transition from each other, the additional edits and special effects, all that stuff. And the mise-en-scène, once again, is what is placed within the frame. So we now need to talk about the Kuleshov effect, which is pretty interesting. So the Kuleshov effect is a film editing effect noted by Soviet filmmaker Lev Kuleshov. It's a mental phenomenon by which the viewer derives more meaning from the interaction of two sequential shots than from a single shot in isolation. So let's take a look at the following clip, which was put together by Lev Kuleshov himself. I don't know if you noticed this, but the clip of the actor was the same each time. So it was the actor, and then the coffin, the actor, and then the soup, the actor, and then the woman on the daybed. This was obviously a long time ago, so we have seen a lot of this kind of thing since. But at that point, it was publicly noted as to how fantastic the acting was of Ivan Mushchikin. However, it was an old clip that Lev Kuleshov took and paired with other things. So when he paired it with the woman in the coffin, people thought that the actor was sad. And it was paired with the soup, people thought the actor was hungry. And it was paired with the woman in the daybed. They thought that the actor was lustful. So audiences couldn't distinguish at that point that these were just the same clip over and over. And that perfectly demonstrates what the Kuleshov effect is. When two clips are paired together, they create a psychological effect that influences the way that audiences look at it, and that is what the Kuleshov effect is about. So to sum up, let's see what Kuleshov himself has to say about his own effect.
Лев Владимирович, а какова история открытия, которое вот называют теперь эффектом Кулешова?
Ну, это результат долгих сидений за монтажных столом и всяческих экспериментов, которые я проводил, монтируя разное, соединяя друг с другом. И вот я выяснил, что если соединить один кадр с другим, или один кадр с двумя другими, то получается не только то, что запечатлено в каждом из этих кадров, а нечто новое, то, чего в этих кадрах нету, не существует. Теперь это известно каждому кинематографическому младенцу, во всяком случае каждому хорошему режиссеру. Да вся кинематография сейчас работает так. Что это такое? Является ли это моим изобретением? Ну, знаешь, в философии есть понятие о случайности и необходимости. То, что это эффект Кулешова, это случайность. А то, что это эффект, это необходимость. Потому что к этому времени культура кинематографа настолько уже созрела, она требовала новых выразительных средств. Она уже не могла оставаться не искусством. Она непременно должна была сделаться искусством. Но мне просто повезло, что это сделал я. Само счастье пришло мне в руки.
So to sum it up, audiences use context to determine meaning. The individual clips do not have the most meaning. It is when they are put together, that is where the power of great editing comes from. And that is the Kuleshov effect. Ha! So now we're going to talk about continuity editing, which is a system of cutting used to maintain continuous and clear narrative action by following a set of rules. As audience members, we need information to understand the context, to understand what is going on. And this set of rules, continuity editing, is incredibly helpful in making that work. So anyways, the benefits of continuity editing are the narrative has a clear structure, the shot sequences flow seamlessly into each other, and it just makes the edit that much more easy to watch, especially in narrative film. So let's talk about the rules. So there are a bunch of rules, which I know how much we all love rules. So we've got the establishing shot. We've got shot, reverse shot. We've got the 180-degree rule, the 30-degree rule, cross-cutting, which is also known as parallel editing, match on action, and eyeline match. And so let's check these out one by one. So we've got our establishing shot, which is a long or extreme long shot that sets up or establishes the context for a scene by showing the relationship between its important figures and objects. So as you can see, we have the exterior of the restaurant from Seinfeld. So in Seinfeld, when they're about to have a scene within the restaurant, before just going right into the conversation, they give a few seconds of this exterior to show the audience where that scene is taking place. So a lot of the establishing shots can be exteriors, they can be interiors, they can be lots of things, just as long as it's setting up the general context for the shot before you go into those closer shots. So that was the establishing shot. So let's take a look at shot, reverse shot. So this is two shots edited together that alternate characters, typically in a conversation situation. Often character in one frame looks left and the other character in the other frame looks right. So we have a picture of the Big Lebowski. You can see their eye lines are going left and right per character. So you see the one character, the shot reverses, you see the other character. So you're seeing the perspective of the two characters. Shot, reverse shot. This chart right here shows an ideal framing for shot, reverse shot. So you can see on the top left, you can see on the right side, there's the character across the table. On the left side, the back of the head of the character on the left. And it's going over the shoulder to the further character. And the same thing is on the other side. So at the bottom half of this graphic, you can see that the cameras with X's on it are just getting the profile of the different characters. So that wouldn't be shot, reverse shot. That's used a lot of times in documentaries and other things, but for narrative film, usually shot, reverse shot is how they bounce back and forth between dialogue. Hopefully that makes sense, but to further understand it, let's take a clip from Jerry Maguire where a lot of shot, reverse shot is being used. Let's check it out.
Albert Einstein's face morphed into Shaquille O'Neal's body.
Yeah, quick grab.
It's pretty good.
What did you lose?
My son, my mind. Ray! Ray!
Listen, while I go look for Dorothy, while I go look for him, why don't you grab this curious gentleman right here?
Oh. Oh. Scared me. You scared me. Don't do that again. Ever. Okay, Mom. Ever, ever, ever. Okay.
All right, so shot, reverse shot. You see the one angle of the character, you see the reverse shot. So pretty cool, pretty helpful. You'll see it everywhere. Anyways, moving on. So we have the 180-degree rule. So in a conversation scene, we have two characters looking at each other. So if you create a line between their two eye lines, and then you assume you put the camera on one side of that line, you want to make sure it doesn't cross that at any angle, or you'll disorient your audience. The 180-degree rule is the angle between any two consecutive shots should not exceed 180 degrees in order to maintain spatial relationships between people and objects in any given sequence of shots. So in order to not disorient people, you'd want the camera to stay on whichever side of the 180. You do not want to cross the line of vision between the two characters. Otherwise, the viewers may not be able to make sense of the scene. There are a lot of films that are trying to challenge the sense that's being made of the scene. But for 95% of situations, the 180-degree rule, and most of these rules, apply. So anyways, that takes us to the 30-degree rule. And what the 30-degree rule states is that the angle between any two consecutive shots should not be less than 30 degrees in order to maintain spatial relationships between people and objects in any given sequence of shots. So each shot should be 30 degrees away from each other. So if you're filming the same scene at multiple angles, you don't want two shots that are within 30 degrees of each other unless there is a distinct focal length change. So you're more zoomed in is what that means, or zoomed out. Otherwise, it'll look too similar and the shot will feel like what's called a jump cut, which is just a cut in time at a similar angle, which you'll see a lot in YouTube. You may even see in this video because I can't remember my lines, but you know, that's all part of it. But yes, so the 30-degree rule helps make the edit seem more seamless, and a jump cut can make it very clear that there's an edit. All right, so that is the 30-degree rule. So beyond this, we have something called cross-cutting, which is also known as parallel editing. And what it is editing that alternates between shots occurring simultaneously in 2+ locations. So it makes the viewer feel like those shots are happening at the same time, but it's cutting between the two of them. So let's take a look at this clip from Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So yeah, that clip's awesome. You can see that there's 2 feet and they're walking different directions. We're going back and forth between those 2 scenes. And what's really cool is that the drive of that scene, they're going towards the similar center, and at the end, their feet meet. So it's a really cool way to show 2 things happening and sort of highlight the momentum of different things that happen. All right, so next up we have match on action. What match on action is a cut between 2 shots that places 2 different framings of the same action next to each other, making it seem to continue uninterrupted. So let's take a look at this Buster Keaton clip to give you an example of match on action. So if I were to get punched, I would cut during the punch because people would be focused on feeling that punch as opposed to focused on the edit. So it's kind of like a magic trick where a magician wants you to look over here and then they do the magic over here, but you're looking over here so you don't see that happen. The match on action wants you to focus on the action so you don't notice the cut. So moving right along, we have Eyeline Match up next, and this is a very similar it's a similar technique to shot reverse shot, but it doesn't specifically, it's not just for dialogue scenes and that kind of thing. So an eyeline match is a cut between 2 shots in which the first shot shows a person looking off in one direction and the second shot shows either a space containing what he or she sees or a person looking back in exactly the opposite direction. So shot reverse shot does count as eyeline match because you're getting the view of what the person in the frame is showing you. To further hammer it in, let's take a look at a clip from Back to the Future.
Hey, Einstein, where's the dot, boy? Huh?
Nice, so you can see that Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, is staring at the DeLorean. Whoa! You see his face looking at it, and then you see what he sees. That's what Eyeline Match is. What are they looking at? You see that they're looking, and then you see what they're looking at. So if we were doing Eyeline Match, you would see me looking at the camera, and then the next shot would be a shot of the camera. I do not have two cameras, so just imagine a shot of a camera. Wow. Anyways, yeah, one-man band here doing the best I can. All right, so that is continuity editing. Those are the techniques that put together will create that seamless edit that editors are always striving for. So again, all these rules they're fine to be broken when it makes sense to do so. But if you're starting out, if you're really getting to know them, I would recommend thinking about these a lot and trying to follow that. So again, those rules are establishing shot, shot reverse shot, 180-degree rule, 30-degree rule, cross-cutting, match on action, eyeline match. So anyways, let's see what you remember from continuity editing. So this is a scene from Spider-Man, a 2002 movie with Tobey Maguire and the like, and it's got a lot of different things going on in it, and it follows a lot of the rules of continuity editing. So keep an eye out, and yeah, we'll see what you came up with after the break.
Somebody there?
Somebody.
Who said that?
Don't play the innocent with me. You've known all along.
Where are you?
Follow the cold shiver running down your spine. Here.
I don't understand.
Did you think it was coincidence? So many good things all happening for you. All for you. Norman.
What do you want?
To say what you won't. To do what you can't. To remove those in your way.
The board members. You killed them.
We killed them.
We?
Remember your little accident in the laboratory?
Performance enhancers.
Bingo. Me, your greatest creation. Bringing you what you've always wanted. Power beyond your wildest dreams, and it's only the beginning. There's only one who can stop us. Or imagine if he joined us.
So yeah, several things were going on there. So there's the establishing shot at the very beginning. We've shot reverse shot, which is actually pretty cool because Willem Dafoe is talking to himself through the mirror. So two versions of himself through the mirror, which is very cool. We have eyeline match. We have match on action. And yeah, so a lot's going on there. So you'll be able to see this in everything now. So that's pretty exciting. So cool. All right, so moving right along, we are going to now talk about a split edit. So a split edit is a transition from one shot to another where the transition of the audio and video happen at different times. So the benefits are it helps create a more seamless flow between scenes. So a lot of amateur filmmakers and editors, they don't use split editing, which can really make you feel each cut. And again, a goal as an editor, for the most part, is to try to make the story be the most prevalent thing, not the editing. So we have two different kinds of split edits. We have the J cut and the L cut. In the J cut, the sound in the next scene precedes the picture And in an L cut, the picture changes, but the audio continues. So let's take a look at a clip to further understand what that means.
It's live. It's live. Hold on to that. It's hot. In. Shut that motherfucker. Shut it. Shut it. Shut it. So.
Did you hear that? Let's listen again.
Shut it. Shut it. Shut it. So.
Did you notice how the sound from the next scene arrived before the image did? That's called a J-cut. A J-cut is an editing technique where the audio of a shot or a scene precedes the visuals. Now, pay close attention to the audio in this clip from the Tree of Life.
Count it out.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you notice how the sound of the boy counting carried over to the next sequence of shots? That's called an L cut, which means that the audio from one shot carries over to the next shot. These two techniques got their name from how they appear in an editing sequence. A J cut makes a J shape, while an L cut makes an L shape. Almost every film includes at least some degree of a J or L cut. You may have never noticed this before, but simple conversations use them all the time.
I ain't got no worries, man. Not them kind what I had before.
He will, I asked him.
Well, thank you. It was very nice of you, but I'm out. I'm done.
J and L cuts allow an editor to break up a conversation and create better, more natural flow with reaction shots. Without them, every conversation would play out like this.
I go there about once a year to chill out for a month.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Why would you?
While this style is definitely not considered bad editing, it gives the scene a much colder, machine-like feel, which is suitable for this particular moment of awkward getting-to-know-each-other talk.
What was it?
It was a show about a team of female secret agents called Fox Force 5.
Outside of basic conversations, less subtle J and L cuts are used to wonderful effect. They are commonly used to transition into dream sequences and flashbacks.
Dream last night. You were inside the house. Outbound for Shanghai. Need 1 able-bodied seaman, 1 oiler, and 1 baker.
J and L cuts also work great for scene transitions. J cuts tend to express urgency when transitioning because they create the feeling of cutting a scene short. Like in this scene from Baby Driver, we hear the car and the horn while still in the preceding scene. L cuts can be used just as effectively when making a transition. Since an L cut creates the feeling of dragging a scene out longer, it works perfectly for this iconic scene from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Fry.
Like they can be used for transitions, J and L cuts can be used to create powerful openings and closings to films. A J cut to open a film captivates us before we even see the first image. And an L cut to end a film creates the feeling that the film continues on even after the credits roll.
Then I woke up.
But perhaps the most powerful application of J and L cuts is to create significance. In this scene from Pariah, a J cut is used to hammer home the meaning behind the words of the poem.
Heartbreak opens onto the sunrise, for even breaking is opening.
And in classic Christopher Nolan fashion, this scene from Dunkirk uses an L cut to turn the character's words into narration over a montage.
We shall defend our island whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
These words stand out to us because we are given images to support them rather than just a character speaking. The J cut and the L cut, 2 tiny tricks used for big impact.
Excellent. All right. Well, so we got through the bulk of what we need to do today. So let's do a quick review just to help sum up. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email at peter@cctvcambridge.org. Be happy to talk to you about editing. I am a total geek about this stuff. So, well, let's review before that. So we've got mise-en-scène, which is what takes place within the frame, i.e. the framing, production, design, light work, and camera work. So we have montage, which is what takes place between frames. In other words, edits, special effects, sound, music, all that good stuff. So we have the Kuleshov effect, which was a montage effect that psychologically influences viewers to derive more meaning from 2 sequential shots than a single isolated shot. We've got continuity editing, which was the overarching system of cutting used to maintain continuous and clear narrative action by following a set of rules. We have the establishing shot, which is a long or extreme long shot that shows the spatial relations between the important figures, objects, and setting in a scene. We have shot reverse shot, which is 2 shots edited together that alternates characters, typically in a conversation situation. We have the 180 degree rule, which is the angle between any 2 consecutive shots should not exceed 180 degrees in order to maintain spatial relationships between people and objects in any given sequence of shots. We have the 30 degree rule, which is the angle between any 2 consecutive shots should not be less than 30 degrees in order to maintain spatial relationships between people and objects in any given sequence of shots. We have cross-cutting, which is editing that alternates between shots occurring simultaneously in 2+ locations. There's match on action, which is a cut between 2 shots that places 2 different framings of the same action next to each other, making it seem to continue uninterrupted. We have eyeline match, which is a cut between 2 shots in which the first shot shows a person looking off in one direction and the second shot shows either a space containing what he or she sees or a person looking back in exactly the opposite direction. Then of course we have the split edit, which is a transition from one shot to another where transition of the audio and video happen at different times. So we have the J cut, where the sound in the scene precedes the picture, looks like a J, so we get that jutting out. And then we have the L cut, where the picture changes but the audio continues, and that looks like an L. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for watching Video Editing Concepts. My name is Peter Levine, and I work at CCTV, Cambridge Community Television. If you have any questions about the material we covered today, you can email me at peter@cctvcambridge.org. And if you have any questions about CCTV Cambridge, you're never going to guess, but our website is www.cctvcambridge.org. And we are dedicated to training our community, getting them media literate, and helping them get their wonderful, creative, exciting ideas out there. And so please contact us with any questions, and we will see you soon.